So it's great to have the Herbert Wigwe here, almost 40 years being on the floor of formerly Nigerian Stock Exchange and now the Nigerian Exchange Limited. Herbert, it's good to have you back here.
Privilege.
Tell me about your latest numbers. Your Access Bank first quarter numbers was just released today. What's in the numbers? Tell me.
The numbers show that we're creating a very strong franchise coming from the different acquisitions that we've done and the integration of, obviously, with Diamond Bank. We do have a very strong horsepower in terms of the number of branches we have, in terms of the retail customers that we have. So we've shown the 10% increase compared to this same period last year, in spite of the difficulties that we see in the market. But I think what is more important are the sustainability of the numbers. And as you look at things that have to do with our commissions and fees, which come from straight retail activity, you can see the full force of that 45 million customers and growing begin to manifest. Now, obviously, there's been some elevated costs in terms of our operating costs. Again, it all comes from just the increasing cost of doing business in the country and the fact that we have the largest network in the country. But I think what is most important, all right, is the fact that the numbers are showing, continuous improvements. I believe that as we run through the rest of the year, we will see these numbers get better. We will see greater accretion to reserves, and which is becoming, again, increasingly important given the fact that Basel III adoption is coming very soon, and the fact that banks need to strengthen their capital to basically ensure that they can comply with world-class practices.
In terms of what the first quarter looked like in terms of the business and the market environment, would you say what just came out for Access Bank is competitive with the rest of the industry, considering the various external and internal issues within the market you operate?
I think it was a difficult first quarter, but we were able to manage ourselves through. I think what we are more interested in doing is focusing on our own competitive advantage and where we're headed as an institution. Different banks have their own issues. Some banks are more concentrated on a specific segment of the market. We are a large retail institution, and because of the nature of customers that we have, sometimes we face more problems perhaps than others, if you get the point I'm making. But at the end of the day, I think what is important to us in Access is that we are creating an institution that will stand the test of time, and that it does not matter what happens. The new COVID, which is basically the Russian-Ukraine crisis, which is going to come with its problems, by the way, all right, that we're in a great position to continue to manage our institution profitably in spite of all of those difficulties.
My final point, you just did $50 million in global notes. What are you aiming at?
SMEs, and that's basically it. So in the agri space, lending to women, etc., etc. So that's what we're using that for. It's not a big number. We normally have some of these intervention facilities to support small and medium scale enterprises, and that is one of the areas that we're more focused than any other institution in this country. So when you see us raise those type of monies, the whole idea is, can we look for agro-related sectors that can improve our economy, SMEs? You're not talking about big companies, because one large company would take several of all of that and then split it in the entire market. So, but that's what that money was used for.
Good time to do that at that particular price and yield at the global market space?
It came at a good price. It's a discount it's certainly better than what several sovereigns are raising money at right now. And we started this even before some of the issues that came up more recently in the continent. But I think what is important is the fact that investors and the DFI still find it, possible to lend and give us all lending facilities at this particular point in time, and it's clearly an indication of how they see and view Access and our strength.